I think you need to just stop and do a serious assessment about your partnership.
What you trying to say, Ella?
Maybe you two don't need to be in business together. Same problems over and over and over and over. Baby, no. For the sake of your friendship, I think the two of you just need to go your separate ways.
I love the fact that they kept releasing clips of the House of Payne episode that hasn't aired yet. I believe it's episode 11, where Curtis enlists the family to help with the food truck because the attention that Curtis and Floyd's business received from the food vlogger has, done them good. A lot of customers and orders, and now they need some extra hands in the kitchen or a food truck. But in the initial clip of this episode, that's when you had, I believe, Laura being taught by Curtis about how to, prepare the food and whatnot. But then Floyd just comes in and mentions how there are some complaints in regards to customers who feel there's way too much sauce in their orders. And as a result, it overpowers the meat. Now, and then they have an argument about it. But let's be real here. It's Curtis who's the hothead. I mean, it was funny because I just watched 12 Angry Men for the first time in a few years over the weekend. And juror number 3 reminds me of Curtis, hot-headed, just over the top, excitable, versus Floyd, who's more like, juror number 8 in terms of being more level-headed, calm, and collected. But the thing is, it's like they say, don't ever go into business with your friends or family because it's always going to end up in some sort of like turmoil where, there's a falling out for one reason or another. Usually it's money, things like that. But in this new clip, Ella brings up the fact that, and rightfully so, brings up the fact that Curtis and Floyd always seem to go back and forth about the same things over and over again. So it might be best in order for them to just salvage their quote unquote friendship by simply dissolving their business. But the thing is, when you really think about it, it's Curtis who's always the antagonizer. It's like he cannot accept criticism. Anyone's suggestions other than his own aren't good, and he's going to do things his way despite being in a partnership for this business. And then it gets to the point where he decides to go solo or he does it his own way. And it's not until it blows up in his face does he realize, well, Floyd, maybe you were right. And if I were Floyd, I'd try to get my own thing going or find a business of someone else, because the fact that Curtis always has this my way or the highway mentality, never wants to give credit where credit is due. He always wants to be selfish. It's just a shame. I mean, I get it. Some people are stuck in their ways, but considering Curtis is older now, this is his main source of income, even though he's in retirement, you would think he would want this business to succeed. Yet it's one of those things where I think that the publicity of the food vlogger has gone to his head. Let's not forget, he was the one who didn't even want to do the vlog in the first place last episode. And it was Floyd and Ella and Janine who had to convince him to do it otherwise. So now that he's gotten some attention and whatnot, he doesn't want to be told what to do. And it's like I said in my other video, you would think cutting back on the sauce would be a Curtis Payne move because of the fact that it would save money. Instead of, using like 3 bottles of sauce on one order, why don't you cut it back? That way, you're not running through your supplies as much, and you're not going to have to replace them as much, saving you money in the long run. And at the end of the day, when you're a person who's serving the community, whether it be through food or in my case, content creation, it's best to give the people what they want. And if you don't do that, there's a good chance you're going to lose the customers to someone else. So I think even if they quote unquote dissolve the business, Curtis is going to fail because he doesn't have that persona to communicate with people effectively. So I really do think that even though they're going to quote unquote break up the business in this episode, they'll get back together by the end. But we're probably going to come right back to a similar sort of argument later on in the season, and it's gotten old. But hey, it is what it is. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.